Hey everybody, this is Chris. Today we are going to just do a quick little review. I always say quick, but it's not. I'm trying to keep this under 30 minutes, but the Sjrc F11, you have two versions. You have a 2K wide angle, and we have what I have today, the 1080 version. It's 1080, which is controlled 2.4 gigahertz, and your Wi-Fi FPV at 5G. So you want to make sure your device is compatible to where you could use that with this quad and have FPV. I will say that this is geared more towards a beginner. You get this for about $130 right now at Banggood. It doesn't have any video stabilization, no gimbal, anything like that. The 1080p camera is decent. You're going to see some, that big old famous fisheye in the video. You're going to see some jello in the video. You will see every movement of the quad because it's not stabilized or on a gimbal. So anytime you stop it, your picture teeters, lifts because the quad's tilting so much. But that's what you're going to get out of that type of quad. So all in all, this is good for a beginner. I do recommend the quad. I did enjoy flying it, but like I said, it's all camera to me. The camera just doesn't do it for me. But for a beginner to get your feet wet, this is a good quad to do that with. So watch the video. I'm going to go over everything with the controller and the quad features, and we're going to see the flight in the real windy conditions. The other thing I don't like is when it does fly, if you are at full speed, you lose the horizon above because the camera points down too much. But you have 3 speed settings, so if you put it at lower speed, you can take care of that and keep the horizon in the picture. So that's one thing that, it is doable, but it's not something I'm real crazy about. That's the camera itself is probably my biggest con with this whole quad. The quad itself performed very well. Stick control is nice and stable, but it's a cheaper quad, kind of entry level, if you will. More geared towards the beginner. So if you're new to the hobby, $130, it's not bad for what you're going to get. It's a good quad. The app is good. It's functional. No problems with that whatsoever. No problems with the controller. It's just it's delivering everything it says it will deliver. It's doing everything it says it'll do. I did not do all the features, so maybe that's not 100%, but as far as I know, it will do all the features. So go ahead and watch the video. And then I'll just give my final thoughts at the end of it. So enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. Okay, so here's the controller, and just going over the controller without my device hooked up to it. We'll start up here with this button here. This is your one-click headless mode, and then I believe if you hold it in place, you go into altitude hold mode. So that's one thing this quad has that I didn't know it had, was altitude hold. And that's pretty surprising. So you can take yourself out of GPS, and then you've got this up here to adjust your speed rates. So that's real nice too. Something we'll test out. And then you've got your scroll wheel over here on the right that moves the camera up and down. And that's, like I said, it's all you can do is up and down. And then this button here is auto takeoff and auto land. And then the scary thing about it is if you sit there and hold it, the quad will just stop. So it's kind of an emergency stop button, and if you hold it while you're in flight by accident, this is going to stop and fall out of the sky. So don't hit that button. And then we have our video and picture buttons right here. This is for camera, this is for video. And then if you hold both, it takes you into, I believe, circle mode, and then you can adjust your radius. and then you press them both again one more time and it'll start your orbit mode. So that's pretty cool, actually. It's kind of like Hubsan, how they do things with multi features. And they also do where you hold your sticks in different places and it puts it into like a gyro calibration, compass calibration, and then if you hold them both like this inside, that's what starts your arms your motors and turns your motors off. So that's pretty much it. You do have your return to home right here, and of course your power on right there, and then your different features here for when you return to home. When you adjust your speed, that will light, and then when you're videoing, this one lights up here, and the other one, let me see, I can't see it. I'm not sure exactly what that one does. It's got a compass on it, so that might be when you take it out of, because this button here has a compass on it as well, so when you take it out of GPS mode, that probably lights up when you're in altitude hold mode, or probably headless mode. So one of those, it'll light up, I'm sure. That's what that is. So all in all, that's it for the controller. No buttons on the back. And like I said, these antennas do appear to be fake. So the range on this, I'm a little unsure. The range, they're saying about 800 meters, 600, 800 meters. If this is a antenna that is inside here, I don't expect us really to get that far, but we'll see how it goes in the flight. So my first flight will be just kind of flying it around, checking it out, seeing how it does, and then we'll do a second video where I actually do a range flight. I want to take it out somewhere where it's no Wi-Fi interference whatsoever, and see if we can really push this. So I'll probably take it out to the reservoir, fly it over the reservoir, and worst case scenario, it takes a swim. But that's probably the best place for me to go get really good range. So just going over the quad here real quick. This is again the Sjrc F11, and there's your camera in the front. So that's 1080p, and when you adjust your scroll wheel here on the back corner, that camera will move all the way pointing straight down. Hopefully you can see that very well, and straight up, or forward, I'm sorry. And you simply have buttons here on the side. You squeeze to unsnap, and she comes right out. And the battery is a 11.1 volt. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll read it to you. 11.1 volt, 25 mAh. That's a pretty decent sized battery for this thing. So I don't see why we wouldn't be able to get at least 25 minutes out of this. And then it snaps back in place. Always double check your batteries. And here's our folding props. They go on with a single Allen screw. It looks like two screws, two Allen screws on the outside and that side there. Before you take flight, take the provided wrench they give you and check all your Allen screws, make sure they're well secure. Check all your props, make sure they're in good condition, and make sure they're not loose here on the ends. And do all your calibrations, and we'll go over stuff like that when we actually go and do our flight. So I have a big storm coming in here. We're gonna go ahead and cut this one short for this portion, and as soon as it clears up, we'll take it for a little flight and conclude the video that way. Okay, so let's just do a little takeoff here, and let's see how it hovers. Just starting it up. Do an auto takeoff. Hopefully we can keep this in the camera. Jump to the right a little bit. Holding very steady.
I'm going to bring it to the center a little bit. Sticks are not overly sensitive at all. It's nice stick control. Sticks are really nice. I do like the sticks. Just dropping in altitude a little bit and moving around a little bit, but we just started it up. Probably have low GPS. I'm not hooked up to the app, so I don't know how many satellites I have, but probably low GPS signal right now, and it's not going to stay locked. I've got it sitting center now, and we're at a low altitude. It seems to be holding very well. I'm going to bring it down, and I'm going to just do my calibrations and stuff real quick. It hesitates to land. So it won't do a hard landing. That's good. When you get it down real close, it kind of pauses and then gets its bearings, I guess, based off of the barometer there, and then it lands nice and soft. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our calibrations. Okay, let's do our calibrations, but we're going to hook up to the app now. So I'm going to put the app in here. Should have turned off my notifications. I'll turn on my do not disturb, because everybody's going to bother me while I'm trying to make this video. Let's okay. Now let's go into my Wi-Fi settings, and we should see Wi-Fi for the quad. Sorry, I know you can't see this. Alright, the Wi-Fi is SJ GPS Pro. I'm selecting that. And it's connected. It does not ask for a password. And we're going to open up the app, and it does not orientate, so I got to turn my phone around. Now I have pushed the sticks up, and I am in, I don't know how well you can see that, but we are in compass calibration. So let's set that down right there. Pick up the quad, and we're going to turn it horizontal, and then it's already done. And now it says nose, head down, and turn it. Place the drone on horizontal surface, and that is done. So now let's do a IMU calibration. We're going to take the sticks and hold them out, and it's flat on the ground. It's a pretty level surface here. Now that says it calibrated the gyro, so that I believe would be your IMU calibration. So I don't know how well you can see it here, but here's the app, and I'll do a screen recording at the same time. Start recording, go back to the app. Go back to controls, and it does not, it just says ready to fly. It does not tell me how many satellites I have. It just shows me I have a strong signal. It does not tell me exactly how many I have. In the settings, if we go to parameters, you got flight distance, maximum is 1200. Default is 30 meters. Flight altitude, we're going to go, I'm just going to set about 70 meters. And return altitude, I'm going to put that at 30. This is very touchy. We'll go at 35. Save. And it's saved. Okay. So we go to controls here, and this thing instantly is all connected by going to the Wi-Fi. You don't have to plug in, so that's nice. And since we've got the screen recording, let's go ahead and just switch over to that, and we're going to go ahead and fly this thing and see how it does. So let's first start the motors. Oops. Start the motors. And let's go ahead and record. Record flashes white and blue when it starts recording, and it does not give you any type of timer. So let's go ahead and, okay, so if you don't take off in a specific amount of time, it shuts off. So let's start back up, and let's do an auto takeoff and fly this baby. Takeoff, slide to confirm.
Alright, I'm just going to jump in here real quick and just show you that it is all of a sudden real windy. As you could see when I was talking through booting up the app, the wind started kicking up. So this is going to be a good test for wind. I just want to also add, I'm very impressed with the range. I did get 550 meters out at 60 meters high in a high Wi-Fi traffic area over my neighborhood. So that's pretty impressive for this quad. And I had other footage. I had a good bit more footage, but it was corrupt, which was my fault. But there is some flight footage here, and I'm going to go to the screen recording and talk you through the rest.
And there's so much Wi-Fi around me. I'm impressed that it's even at 300 meters right now. $400 meters. We got good, and then we still holding FPV. Just starting to lag up a little bit here and break up or freeze. 500 meters. It did freeze and jump there. I should probably stop at about 550. Okay, stop. And you can see it did freeze up. So the Wi-Fi FPV going at 500 meters, 550 meters, I'm pretty impressed with that. You can tell we're fighting in the wind a little bit. It's kind of hanging sideways a little bit. So let's just go ahead and hit return to home. I mainly just wanted to see how it would do in the high Wi-Fi. And we'll go ahead and hit return to home. Slide to confirm. And then we're going to go back to the camera on the tripod and see what that says. So right now it's frozen. It is returning to home. I can see that on my distance, but it's frozen. There we go. Now it's showing up. So now let's go back over to the tripod. Turn on record. Hopefully we got enough battery. I'll wait until it gets close because the battery's low. I'm going to angle the camera down. Wrong way. I really don't like that beep. And let's see how it does. Okay, so it's returning home right now, and I just want to see how close it lands to where it took off. It took off right here on the sidewalk. We went about 600 meters out, and ooh, man, is that close to that pole. I love the way it touches down. It does a nice subtle touchdown. As soon as it gets low and the barometer knows it's very close, it does a very subtle set down. It does not just plop down on the ground. But man, was that close to the pole. So we're about 2-3 feet off from where we took off from. But overall, I'm happy with that. It seems to be a pretty good quad.
Okay, so that's it. That is the Sjrc F11. Just want to say, you saw it all in the video. To be fair, it was pretty windy out, so it will do better in a calmer conditions. Living here in Pennsylvania, waiting for a perfect day can take days, and I don't think Ben Good wants to wait all that long for my review, so had to get it done. But again, I totally recommend this for a beginner. It wasn't something that I did not enjoy flying. The only reason I say it's for a beginner is 100% the camera. Everything else is great. I mean, everything works fine on the controller, everything worked fine on the app, everything worked fine on the quad. It's just the camera having that fisheye, that huge fisheye, the jello, and losing that horizon like that. So, myself, I like stabilization. Much like the H501S on the Hubsan, it's the same thing. You got a fixed camera, 1080p, beautiful picture, but you see all the movement real, sensitive. So for me, I'm past all that kind of stuff. I like my 4K or my 1080 on a 3-axis gimbal, or a stabilized camera on a 2-axis gimbal. This is the type thing where if you're just getting into the hobby, you want to try out something, it's a great quad for that. Before you go diving in and spending $900, $1,000, $1,500, whatever you're going to spend on your much more high-end stuff like DJI products. So this is a good one for beginners, and I'm going to be giving this one away. So if you have supported me by clicking on my links and buying products off Banggood through my links, I'm going to pick some order numbers, and anybody that wants to pay shipping, the first one I pick will have first opportunity. And if you just don't want to pay that shipping, then I'll just move on down to the next person until somebody wants to pay the shipping, and they can have this quad for however much it costs to ship it to wherever your location is. So, and also just know, any time you buy anything from me on my links, that money is going 100% to charity. I have a video coming up that I haven't posted yet, where I write that first check for $1,000 for Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, PA. So great things. That's about it. I just want to thank everybody so much for watching my videos. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all the great comments in my videos. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can get notifications on future content. I've got lots of stuff that I have on the to-do list to bring to the channel. Some brand new stuff and some of the good old stuff through, like the Xeno, the Fimi X8 SE, the A3, Parrot, Bebop, Parrot Anafi, all that stuff. So always going to have some good content. And then as we get further into colder weather and I'm not flying so much, then we're going to start taking stuff apart and fixing it with things that are common known problems, like replacing motors on the Xeno. I've been asked to do that. Replacing ESCs on the Xeno. I've been asked to do that. So those are the type of things I'm going to be doing. So hit that subscribe button and click that bell. And as always, on your way out, hit that thumbs up, and I appreciate it. Take care.